Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we're turning our gaze towards the highly anticipated 192nd episode of Kuruluş Osman. As the saga of Osman Bey continues to unfold, its echoes are not just heard in the halls of Sagat or the battlefields of Anatolia, but also in the very landscape of Turkish historical dramas, a testament to Kuruluş Osman's legacy shaping the future of Turkish dramas. This series has consistently delivered high-stakes, profound character journeys, and a gripping narrative rooted in history and faith. So, what might this upcoming episode 192 have in store for us, especially considering the dramatic turns we've likely witnessed in the episodes leading up to it? Let's explore some possibilities, some questions, and some potential paths the narrative might take, all without venturing into definitive spoilers, of course. Considering the stage we're at, likely deep into Osman Bey's efforts to forge a lasting state, the external pressures are bound to be immense. Following what must have been significant developments around episode 191, perhaps a hard one but costly victory, or the emergence of a cunning new alliance forged against Osman Bey, episode 192 could open with the immediate aftermath, forcing Osman to navigate treacherous diplomatic waters or prepare for an imminent, even larger threat. Could we be seeing the Byzantine Empire, far from defeated, regrouping with fresh strategies or new, formidable commanders determined to crush Osman's burgeoning Beylik once and for all? Or perhaps the danger comes from a different direction entirely. Have the remnants of Mongol factions, ever opportunistic, sensed a moment of vulnerability or a chance to reassert their dominance? The sheer scale of Osman's ambitions means the enemies become larger, the stakes higher. What if episode 192 introduces a foe who operates less on brute force and more on insidious infiltration, challenging Osman Bey not just on the battlefield but within his own inner circle? How do you think a new antagonist at this stage might differ from those Osman has faced before? We'd love to hear your theories in the comments section. Internally, the challenges of a rapidly expanding territory and influence must be weighing heavily. By episode 192, the K tribe is no longer just a tribe but the nucleus of a future empire. This growth invariably brings complexities. Are we about to witness more intricate internal political storylines? Perhaps there are Beys from newly joined territories whose loyalty is still being tested, or ambitious figures within Osman's own ranks who believe they see a different path forward, potentially leading to friction. Could episode 192 delve into the difficulties of implementing new laws, establishing trade routes through contested lands, or even managing resources for a growing population and army? These are the less glamorous but absolutely crucial aspects of state building. And what about Osman Bey himself? The relentless struggle, the constant vigilance, the weight of every decision, how might this be impacting him on a personal level? Will we see moments where he seeks counsel not just for strategic advantage but for spiritual and emotional fortitude, reminding us of the human cost of such a monumental endeavor? A significant part of Kuruluş Osman's enduring appeal lies in its portrayal of family and the next generation. By episode 192, Osman Bey's children, Orhan, Alaeddin, and Fatma, are no longer just children but young adults, presumably already tested in various capacities. What crucial roles might they be playing now? Could episode 192 place one of them at the center of a major storyline? Perhaps Orhan, as the expected heir, is tasked with a near-impossible military command or a delicate diplomatic mission that will truly prove his mettle. What if he faces a situation where his approach differs significantly from his father's, leading to a respectful but tense exploration of evolving leadership? And Alaeddin, with his scholarly pursuits, might he be instrumental in establishing the intellectual and administrative foundations of the state, or could his skills be required to uncover a type of threat that swords alone cannot defeat? Will we see him grapple with the balance between knowledge and action? Fatma Hatun, too, would be a formidable presence. How might her influence be shaping the social fabric of the Beylik, or perhaps playing a behind-the-scenes role in averting a crisis? Episode 192 could offer a profound look into how these young individuals are not just supporting their father but actively forging their own legacies. What kind of challenges do you envision for Osman's children at this advanced stage of the narrative, and how do you see them overcoming them? Share your thoughts below. The powerful Hatans of the K tribe, primarily Bala Hatun and Malhun Hatun, have always been pillars of strength, wisdom, and action. As the political landscape grows more complex and the court potentially larger, how are their roles evolving in episode 192? Beyond their unwavering support for Osman Bey, are they now managing intricate networks of information, overseeing charitable foundations crucial for the state's stability? or even mentoring the younger generation of women in the tribe for future leadership roles. We might see one of them having to make a particularly difficult sacrifice or a bold decision to protect the family or the integrity of Osman's cause. Could a significant plot point in episode 192 revolve around a crisis that specifically requires their unique skills and authority to resolve, perhaps something that the men, for all their martial prowess, cannot? What kind of scenario would you like to see that showcases their undiminished importance to the state? The spiritual and moral compass of the series, often guided by the teachings of figures like Sheikh Bali, remains a core element. As the state expands, how is this spiritual foundation being maintained and propagated in episode 192? Are new institutions of learning and justice, rooted in these principles, now taking firmer shape? Perhaps the episode will present a complex ethical dilemma for Osman Bey or his family, one that forces them to deeply reflect on their core values when faced with a pragmatic but morally ambiguous choice. Could there be a new spiritual mentor, or perhaps a charlatan attempting to mislead the people, forcing a reaffirmation of true faith and justice? The challenges to the soul of the burgeoning state are just as important as the challenges to its borders. How do you think the series will continue to explore these profound themes as Osman's dream gets closer to reality? Will episode 192 offer a particularly poignant lesson in leadership that underscores why this drama has such a lasting impact? We encourage you to share your perspective on this. Finally, no episode of Kuruluş Osman would be complete without the potential for startling revelations or heart-stopping cliffhangers. What kind of major twist could episode 192 be building towards? Could it be the return of an old enemy, long thought vanquished, but now more dangerous than ever? Or perhaps a betrayal from a character no one suspected, sending shockwaves through the narrative? Maybe a long-held secret is about to be unearthed, one that could redefine relationships or alter the political landscape significantly. The writers have always excelled at keeping us on the edge of our seats. What is your boldest, most out-there prediction for a shocking moment in episode 192? Let your imagination run wild in the comments. As we look forward to what episode 192 might bring, it's clear that the journey of Kuruluş Osman is far from over. The challenges will undoubtedly grow, the victories will hopefully be sweeter, and the legacy of Osman Bey will continue to be built, one difficult decision, one courageous act at a time. The way this show continues to weave together action, drama, history, and heartfelt human emotion is precisely why it resonates so deeply and continues to shape the landscape of historical storytelling. Thank you for joining the speculative journey, and we look forward to dissecting the actual episode with you once it airs. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As we stand on the cusp of Kuruluş Osman's 192nd episode, the echoes of Osman Bey's Fidya Tisai, the fire of conquest ignited in the previous episode, still resonate deeply within us. That symbolic act wasn't just a declaration, it was a promise of monumental events to come, a signal that the K are on the move and the scales of power in the region are set for a dramatic shift. The air is thick with anticipation and the questions are many. What will this new phase of conquest truly entail? As Osman Bey rallies his Alps and sharpens his strategies, what intricate challenges and surprising alliances will episode 192 lay bare before us? The preparations within the K camp are undoubtedly in full swing, but war is never just about might, it's a complex dance of wits, courage, and sometimes sheer fortune. Could the upcoming episode show us the immediate first steps of this grand campaign, or will new, unforeseen obstacles arise even before the first arrow is loosed? One of the most pressing fronts that continues to demand Osman Bey's attention is, of course, the Byzantine threat, and recent events have significantly stirred the hornet's nest. There's strong speculation and some theories pointing towards a major confrontation involving Gladius, or Claudius as some know him. The narrative seems to be pushing him into a corner, and many of you are wondering if Osman Bey will finally neutralize this particular thorn in his side. Could it be that episode 192 will witness the culmination of Gladius's schemes in a definitive end? If so, what would the fall of such a key Byzantine player mean for the power dynamics within Bursa and even Constantinople? The emperor was already wary, and Gladius's removal, whether by capture or death, would surely send shockwaves through the Byzantine ranks. Would this create a power vacuum that Osman Bey can exploit, or might it, conversely, lead to a more desperate and perhaps even more dangerous response from a weakened emperor? The path to Bursa has long been a focal point of Osman Bey's ambitions. Does the potential downfall of Gladius signify that the conquest of Bursa is now closer than ever, perhaps an imminent reality we'll see unfold? What new strategies might Osman Bey employ to take this crucial city, and what will be the Byzantines' last stand? These are critical questions, and the answers will undoubtedly shape the future of Osman's burgeoning state. We encourage you to share your predictions on how the Byzantine front will evolve in the comments below. Will Bursa's walls finally see Osman's flag? Simultaneously, the ever-present Mongol threat is poised for a significant transformation. We've seen Kukr causing immense trouble, a cunning and ruthless adversary. If the whispers and theories are true and Kukr meets his end or is otherwise neutralized, what follows? His demise would certainly remove an immediate problem, but the Mongols are like a hydra, cut off one head and others may appear, perhaps even more formidable. This leads us directly to the highly anticipated and frankly, rather concerning, potential arrival of Al-Qaeda Han, the Mongol emperor. What does his reported entry into the storyline signify at this exact moment? Is he coming to investigate the failures of his commanders, like Kukr, or does he have a grander, more terrifying plan for Anatolia? Will Al-Qaeda Han be a warrior king, leading his armies directly, or a master manipulator, seeking to sow discord and exploit weaknesses from afar? His presence could escalate the conflict to an entirely new level, forcing Osman Bey to adapt his strategies and perhaps seek new, unlikely alliances. How do you foresee Al-Qaeda Han's impact on the series? Will he be a long-term antagonist, or is his arrival a precursor to a specific, devastating campaign? The Mongol chessboard is being reset, and Osman Bey will need all his wisdom and strength to navigate the coming storm. Could we also see other Mongol factions or ambitious commanders trying to fill the void left by Kukr, each with their own agenda? The complexity of the Mongol threat seems set to deepen considerably. Beyond the grand theaters of war and diplomacy, the personal lives and internal dynamics within the Ke tribe continue to provide compelling drama and crucial character development. The capture of Begum Hatun by Bala Hatun's astute planning was a masterstroke, but what comes next for her? Will she face swift justice for her actions and betrayals, or could her fate be more complicated? Perhaps Osman Bey will see an opportunity for a different kind of political maneuver. Could she be used as a bargaining chip, or will her removal simply serve as a stark warning to other internal dissenters? What do you believe should be the fate of Begum Hatun? Her storyline has been one of bitterness and revenge. Does it end in a straightforward manner, or is there another twist awaiting us? Let us know your thoughts on this. Then there's the situation with Alaeddin Bey and Gonca Hatun. Their recent ordeal, especially with Kukr posing a direct threat to Gonca, must have tested them immensely. If Kukr is indeed out of the picture, does this mean Gonca is finally safe and their path to happiness, or at least stability, is clearer? How will this shared experience of danger and potential loss shape their relationship? Will it forge an unbreakable bond, or could it perhaps reveal underlying tensions or unresolved fears? We're also watching Orhan Bey's journey closely. He has faced his share of trials and responsibilities. Are these experiences molding him into the formidable leader he is destined to become? Might episode 192 showcase a significant step in his maturation, perhaps a new command or a crucial decision he must make? And speaking of influential figures, there are persistent rumors and fan hopes about the return of Malhun Hatun. If she were to reappear in episode 192, what would be the catalyst for her return at such a pivotal time of conquest and heightened danger? Her presence always adds a unique dynamic to the family and to Osman Bey's council. How would her perspective influence the current strategies and the atmosphere within the Ke leadership? The series is also known for keeping us on the edge of our seats regarding the safety of beloved characters. Surkate, with his unwavering loyalty and immense bravery, is a fan favorite. However, in times of escalating conflict and with powerful new enemies potentially emerging, no one is ever truly safe. Could the intensity of the battles to come, perhaps against Al-Qaeda Han's forces or in the final push for a major Byzantine stronghold, put Surkate in a particularly perilous situation? There are always those whispers, those fears that a character so central to the emotional core of the show might face an ultimate test. What are your theories regarding Surkate's arc in the coming episodes? Do you think he will continue to be Osman's steadfast companion, or is there a possibility of a tragic turn? Share your thoughts in the comments section. The grand strategy for Osman Bey involves not just conquering lands but also laying the foundations for a lasting state, a beacon of justice and order. Each victory, each trial overcome, is a step towards this monumental goal. In episode 192, amidst the battles and political intrigue, what symbolic actions might Osman Bey take to further solidify his vision of a new state? Could we see him establish new institutions or perhaps articulate more clearly the principles upon which his future empire will be built? And as always, in a world as complex and fraught with ambition as Kuruluş Osman's, the shadow of betrayal is ever present. While Osman Bey commands the loyalty of many, the allure of power and the pressure from formidable enemies can corrupt even those seemingly steadfast. As the stakes are raised higher with the prospect of new conquests and the arrival of figures like Al-Qaeda Han, could new internal fault lines appear? Are all of Osman Bey's beys and allies truly as loyal as they appear, or might we see someone falter, or worse, actively work against him for their own gain? The introduction of new powerful external forces often has a way of exposing hidden weaknesses within. It keeps us wondering, doesn't it? Who can OS?